The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Hi dear children, എല്ലാവർക്കും സുഖാണോ? നിങ്ങൾ ശ്രീബുദ്ധനെക്കുറിച്ച് കേട്ടിട്ടുണ്ടാവും അല്ലേ? ഒരിക്കൽ അദ്ദേഹത്തെ കാണാൻ ചെന്ന ഒരു വ്യക്തി അദ്ദേഹത്തെ വല്ലാതെ വഴക്ക് പറയുകയുണ്ടായി. എന്നാൽ അദ്ദേഹം പറഞ്ഞതിനൊന്നും തിരിച്ചു മറുപടി പറയാതെ എല്ലാം പുഞ്ചിരിയോടെ കേട്ടിരിക്കുക മാത്രമാണ് ശ്രീബുദ്ധൻ ചെയ്തത്. ആ വന്ന ആൾ പോയി കഴിഞ്ഞതിന് ശേഷം അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ ശിഷ്യൻ ബുദ്ധനോട് ചോദിക്കുകയുണ്ടായി, ആ മനുഷ്യൻ ഇത്രയും വഴക്ക് പറഞ്ഞിട്ടും അങ്ങയുടെ മുഖത്ത് ഒരു ഭാവവ്യത്യാസവും വന്നില്ല, അങ്ങ് ആ മനുഷ്യനോട് തിരിച്ചൊന്നും മറുപടിയും പറഞ്ഞില്ല, എന്തായിരുന്നു കാരണം? അപ്പോൾ ബുദ്ധൻ തിരിച്ചൊരു ചോദ്യം തൻ്റെ ശിഷ്യനോട് ചോദിച്ചു. ഒരുപാട് ധനവുമായി ഒരു വ്യക്തി അങ്ങയെ കാണാൻ വരികയാണ്. അങ്ങ് ആ ധനം തിരസ്കരിക്കുന്നു, വേണ്ടെന്ന് പറയുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ ആ ധനം ആർക്കാണ് സ്വന്തം? അപ്പോൾ ശിഷ്യൻ പറഞ്ഞ മറുപടി ഇതായിരുന്നു, ഞാൻ വേണ്ടെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ആ ധനത്തിൻ്റെ ഉടമസ്ഥൻ ആ കൊണ്ടുവന്ന വ്യക്തി തന്നെയാണ്. അപ്പോൾ ബുദ്ധൻ പറഞ്ഞ മറുപടി ഇതായിരുന്നു, ഇതാണ് അങ്ങ് ചോദിച്ച ചോദ്യത്തിന് ഉത്തരം. ശരിയാണ്, ഏത് പ്രതികൂല സാഹചര്യങ്ങളെയും തരണം ചെയ്യാനുള്ള കഴിവ് നമ്മൾ നേടിയെടുക്കുന്നത് എല്ലാം ശാന്തതയോടെ സ്വീകരിക്കുമ്പോൾ മാത്രമാണ്. അത് സന്തോഷമായാലും സങ്കടമായാലും എന്തു തന്നെയായാലും എല്ലാത്തിനെയും ശാന്തത കൈവിടാതെ സ്വീകരിക്കുകയാണെങ്കിൽ നമ്മൾക്ക് ജീവിതത്തിൽ എല്ലാ പ്രതിസന്ധികളെയും അതിജീവിക്കാനും സന്തോഷത്തോടെ ജീവിക്കാനും പറ്റും. അതുകൊണ്ട് മക്കളെ, മറ്റുള്ളവരോട് ദേഷ്യപ്പെടുമ്പോൾ ഒരു കാര്യം ഓർക്കണം, അവർ അത് സ്വീകരിച്ചില്ലെങ്കിൽ എന്താണ് സംഭവിക്കുക? തിരിച്ച് നമ്മൾക്ക് തന്നെ കിട്ടും അല്ലേ? അതോടെ നമ്മളുടെ മനസ്സമാധാനം നഷ്ടപ്പെടും. അപ്പോൾ നമ്മളൊരാളോട് ദേഷ്യപ്പെടുമ്പോൾ അവർക്ക് മാത്രമല്ല മനസ്സമാധാനം പോകുന്നത്, പറയുന്ന ആൾക്ക് കൂടിയാണ്. കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളായ നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ജീവിതത്തിൽ എന്തെങ്കിലും പ്രതിസന്ധികൾ വരികയാണെങ്കിൽ അതിൽ ശരിയേത് തെറ്റേത് എന്ന് മനസ്സിലാക്കാൻ കഴിയാതെ വന്നാൽ നിങ്ങളുടെ ഗുരുക്കന്മാരോടോ നിങ്ങളുടെ മാതാപിതാക്കളോടോ മുതിർന്നവരോടോ അതിനുള്ള പരിഹാരം നിങ്ങൾക്ക് ചോദിക്കാം. ജീവിതത്തിൽ ഒരുപാട് അനുഭവസമ്പത്തുള്ള ആളുകളാണ് മുതിർന്നവരെല്ലാവരും അല്ലേ? അതുകൊണ്ട് തന്നെ ഏത് പ്രശ്നങ്ങളിലും തെറ്റേത് ശരിയേത് എന്ന് മനസ്സിലാക്കി തരാനുള്ള പക്വതയും കഴിവും അവർക്കുണ്ടാവും. ഓക്കെ? So dear children, today we can start a new chapter 8, which is joining parts. Here you can see a circle, and this circle is divided into 4 equal parts, isn't it? So we can say that each part of the circle is 1/4. What about this circle? How many parts are there? Yes, we can see 8 equal parts. That means each part is 1/8. And this circle is divided into 6 equal parts. So each part is 1/6. Here you can see in this circle 12 equal parts are there, isn't it? So each part is 1/12 part of the circle. Now, how can we explain this one? Here, we can see half of the circle is given, isn't it? That means, from the 4 equal parts, 2 parts are given. So, we can say this in fractional form as 2/4. That means it is half. So, 2/4 is equal to 1/2. What about this one? Here also you can see half of the circle is taken, and here we can see 4 equal parts out of 8 equal parts. So we can write this as 4 by 8 and which is 1 by 2. Again, here we can see 3 equal parts out of the 6 equal parts of the circle. So this is also half, but it is 3 parts out of the 6 parts, that means 3 by 6. So again we can write 3 by 6 is equal to 1 by 2. Here out of the 12 equal parts, 6 parts are taken, that means the fractional form is 6 by 12, again which is half of the circle. That means 1 by 2 is equal to 6 by 12. So from these pictures we can conclude half of a circle as 2 by 4, 3 by 6, 4 by 8 and 6 by 12. So we can write this half, that means 1 by 2 is equal to 2 by 4 which is equal to 4 by 8 which is equal to 3 by 6 and is equal to 6 by 12. So these fractions are equal fractions. Here if we take 50 by 100, how can we say this in the smallest form? 50 by 100 which is same as 1 by 2, isn't it? 2 times 50 makes 100. So 50 by 100 means it is half part. And you have already studied in your lower classes, a fraction has 2 parts. One is the upper part and the other is the lower part. And the upper part of the fraction is known as numerator and the lower part is known as denominator. So here in 50 by 100 we can take 50 as the numerator and 100 as the denominator. Here you can see circles, and these circles are divided into equal parts. In first circle, the circle is divided into 3 equal parts and each part is 1 by 3. What about the second circle? And that second circle is divided into 6 equal parts and 2 parts are taken. That means it is 2 by 6, but we can connect these 2 by taking 2 by 6 is same as 1 by 3. What about this third circle? In that we can see out of 12 equal parts, 4 parts are shaded. That means the fractional form is 4 by 12 and which is same as again 1 by 3. Here we can connect this 1 by 3 with these fractions, that is 1 by 3 is equal to 2 by 6 which is equal to 4 by 12, isn't it? Children, how can we express this shaded portion by using fraction? Yes, here the shaded portion is 2 by 3. What about this picture? Can you say what is the fractional form for this shaded portion? Yes, here we can take 4 by 6, isn't it? What about this one? Here we can see out of the 12 equal parts, 8 parts are shaded, isn't it? So the fractional form is 8 by 12. So we can connect these pictures by taking these all are different forms of 2 by 3, isn't it? That means 2 by 3 is equal to 4 by 6 which is equal to 8 by 12. Can you say any relation between these numbers? How we get these numbers? 2 by 3 is equal to 4 by 6 which is equal to 8 by 12. If we take 2 by 3, we get this 4 by 6 by multiplying both this numerator and the denominator with a common number which is 2. So we can write the fraction like this, that is 4 by 6. So these two fractions are similar fractions. What about 8 by 12? If we take 2 by 3 and we multiply both numerator and denominator with a number 4, we will get 8 by 12. So can we make some more fractions using this method? Yes. If we multiply both numerator and denominator of this fraction with a common number, we can write so many similar fractions of 2 by 3. What about 3 by 4? If we multiply 3 and 4 with a common number, we can make so many similar fractions from 3 by 4. So here first we can multiply with 2. Then the fraction will be 6 by 8. Now if we multiply 3 by 4 with 3, we will get 9 by 12. What about when we multiply with 4? When we multiply with 4, we will get 12 by 16. So these all fractions are similar fractions. That means here this 3 by 4, which is equal to 6 by 8, which is equal to 9 by 12, and which is equal to 12 by 16. So these fractions are called similar fractions. So when we write 3 by 4 is 6 by 8 and 9 by 12 or 12 by 16, etc., we can say this 3 by 4 is the lowest form of all these fractions. So if we want to get higher fractions from a lower fraction, we have to multiply numerator and denominator with a common number, so that we can find so many highest fractions using this lower fraction. Okay, so we can do one more example. If we take 2 by 3, we can form so many highest fractions from this 2 by 3. Here if we multiply 2 and 3 with 2, we will get 2 2s are 4, 3 2s are 6. If we multiply with 3, we will get 3 2s are 6, 3 3s are 9. Similarly, if we multiply both with 4, we can write this as 4 2s are 8, 4 3s are 12. So, etc. So, we can say this 2 by 3 is same as 4 by 6, which is same as 6 by 9, which is same as 8 by 12. So, if we want to make highest fractions from a given fraction, we have to multiply numerator and denominator with the same number. If we want to make lowest fractions from a higher fraction, we have to divide. For example, if we got a fraction 4 by 8 and we want to write the lowest form of this 4 by 8, first we have to divide with a common number. Here we can see 4 is the highest common factor of this 4 and 8. So we can divide this 4 and 8 with 4, so that we will get the lowest form. 1 4 is 4 and 2 4s are 8. So the lowest form of this 4 by 8 is 1 by 2. Now we can move to another example, which is 6 by 9. Here we can see 6 in 6 and 9, the common factor, the highest common factor is 6 is 2 3s are 6, 9 is 3 3s are 9. So here 1, 2, 3 and 6 are the factors of 6. Similarly 1, 3 and 9 are the factors of 9. So here 3 is the common factor of both 6 and 9, and 3 is the highest common factor, isn't it? So we have to divide the 6 and 9 with 3, so that 2 3s are 6 and 3 3s are 9. So we got the lowest form of this 6 by 9 as 2 by 3. One more example, which is 4 by 12. Here also we have to find out the the highest common factor of 4 and 12. We can see 4 has factors 1, 2 and 4. What about 12? 12 has the factor 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 and 12. Here you can see 1, 2 and 4 are the common factors of both 4 and 12, and here 4 is the highest common factor. So we have to divide both numerator and denominator with the highest common factor, which is 4. 4 divided by 4 means it is 1. 12 divided by 4 means it is 3. That is 3 4s are 12. So we got the lowest form of 4 by 12 as 1 by 3. I hope you all understood what are similar fractions and what is lowest fraction and what is highest fraction. And we can wind up today's session and you can do the given homework problems. Okay, so take care. Bye.